The moment the number was spoken, the entire room went silent. Not the kind of silence you hear during a normal court ruling. This was the kind of silence that happens when people realize they've just witnessed history. $30 million. That's the number that sent shockwaves through the courtroom and across the internet in a matter of seconds. Because the woman standing at the center of it all was none other than Remy Ma, and the man sitting just a few feet away from her was Papoose. For years, their marriage was seen as one of the strongest love stories in hip-hop. When Remy went to prison, most people expected the relationship to fall apart like so many others in the spotlight. But Papoose didn't leave. He didn't distance himself. Instead, he showed up again and again, visiting her, defending her, and proudly telling the world he would never abandon his wife. Fans called him the definition of loyalty. The man who proved real love still existed in the industry, but everything changed the moment that $30 million judgment was announced. Witnesses say Papoose's reaction shocked everyone in the room. Instead of anger, instead of shouting, he reportedly froze, then slowly lowered his head and covered his face as emotions overwhelmed him. According to one insider who was sitting nearby, he whispered something under his breath that cameras barely caught. "After everything we survived, this is how it ends." Within minutes, chaos erupted online. Screenshots began appearing. Alleged private messages between people close to the couple started circulating. One mysterious message read, "The money isn't even the real story. Wait until people hear the recordings." Recordings. What recordings? Suddenly, the narrative exploded beyond a courtroom ruling. Rumors of secret arguments, hidden betrayals, and leaked conversations.
I think that is very unfortunate. Because I like it too. Very unfortunate, but we won't be knowing what folks are going through behind closed doors, so I don't know what really happened. I remember I spoke on this one time, but I don't know what really happened. You know what I'm saying? What made everybody move where they were moving. I know about shit's crazy. I mean, marriage hard. I mean, one thing like that, you gotta have the right person. If you have the right person, it won't be so hard. It'll be like living life. Regular ups and downs. But you get somebody that ain't right, that shit gonna tear your up. You know, wish you would never get that thing. You probably, if you ain't strong enough, you probably won't never do it. But you do it. I ain't doing no court.
Put it this way, if I was in your shoes, they would say, "Kirk, you deserve that shit." They would talk shit about me, and you know what? I love that they love me.
Conversations started flooding social media. Some fans claimed this was justice for Remy. Others insisted something deeper was being hidden. And then an alleged insider dropped a cryptic warning that sent the internet into a frenzy. If the audio from that night ever comes out, everything people believe about this marriage will change. Now, everyone is asking the same question. Did Remy Ma just win the biggest victory of her life? Or did this $30 million ruling expose a secret war that's been happening behind the scenes for years? What? Most people didn't realize when the $30 million verdict hit the headlines was at the courtroom. Battle was only the final explosion of a war that had been building behind closed doors for years. To the public, the marriage between Remy Ma and Papoose still looked strong. They smiled at events. They posted supportive captions. Interviews still carried that familiar narrative about loyalty, prison visits, and surviving the impossible together. But according to insiders who were around them during the last 2 years, the relationship had quietly turned into something much darker. One industry source who worked on a studio session with both of them claims the tension between them was impossible to ignore. The source said the energy in the room changed the moment they arrived. At first, things were calm, professional even. But the moment a producer mentioned an upcoming interview where Papoose planned to speak about their love story again, Remy allegedly snapped.
I think that is very unfortunate. You know what I'm saying? Because I like it too. Very unfortunate, but we won't be knowing what folks are going through behind closed doors, so I don't know what really happened. I remember I spoke on this one time, but I don't know what really happened. You know what I'm saying? What made everybody move where they were moving. I know about that shit's crazy. I know about this marriage hard. I mean, one thing like that, you gotta have the right person. If you have the right person, it won't be so hard. It'll be like living life. Regular ups and downs. But you get somebody that ain't right, that shit's gonna tear you up.
Witnesses say she slammed her phone onto the table and said something that stunned everyone in the studio. "You keep selling that fairy tale like it's still real." The room reportedly went silent. According to the same insider, Papoose didn't yell back at first. He simply stared at her for several seconds before responding with a line that would later spread across group chats throughout the industry. "You're the one who stopped believing in it." No one in the studio knew at that moment that the argument had been quietly recorded on someone's phone. Hours after the $30 million court ruling became public, a short fragment of that recording began circulating online. The clip is only a few seconds long, but the voices in it sound unmistakably tense. A woman believed to be Remy can be heard saying, "You want loyalty, but you don't tell the whole truth." Then a male voice, believed by many listeners to be Papoose, replies, "You think the truth would make you look better?" The clip ends abruptly. That tiny piece of audio ignited a wildfire online. Fans immediately began dissecting every word, trying to figure out what secret truth the couple had been hiding all this time. But the audio leak was only the beginning. Within hours, another series of screenshots appeared on a popular celebrity gossip page. The messages were allegedly sent by someone inside Papoose's circle during the early days of the court case. One message read, "If she wins this settlement, it's not just about money. She's trying to erase the past." Another message in the thread said something even more alarming. "He knows about the recordings. That's why he stayed quiet." Those two lines sent the internet into full detective mode. People began digging through old interviews, resurfacing moments where Remy and Papoose seemed slightly off when discussing their relationship. One viral clip showed Remy laughing nervously when asked during an interview whether Papoose had ever broken her trust. At the time, fans brushed the moment off. But now the clip was being shared millions of times, with captions asking a very different question. Was she hiding something back then? As speculation spiraled, a completely new twist dropped late that evening. A blogger who claims to have sources inside the legal team involved in the case posted a shocking statement. According to that post, the $30 million settlement wasn't originally expected. The insider claimed that during one closed-door meeting, evidence had been presented that completely changed the direction of the case. The blogger didn't say what the evidence was, but they did drop a chilling hint. Let's just say someone's private messages became public inside that courtroom. Immediately, people began wondering whose messages they were talking about. Was it Remy's messages or Papoose? Before anyone could get answers, another leak surfaced that made the situation even messier. A series of alleged texts between Remy and a close friend appeared on social media. In the messages, Remy supposedly
Women in, women always talk bad about the guys. And then it's none of my business, but I get talked about all the time. And I'm just saying, it's my, he went in business, and his reward to be is bad. But I'm trying to say my business, but I feel like, God damn, bro. I feel bad for him. Put it this way, if I was in your shoes, Kirk, you deserve that shit. They would talk shit about me, and you know what? I love that they love you. They love you, bro. You being with a lot of people. Seriously, love you. That's true. You got a lot of respect in the street. I'm keeping it on it. Women, y'all have showed y'all in a very bad way. Okay, but this is really nothing for but even though I say
Remy supposedly vented about feeling trapped inside a public love story that no longer matched reality. One line from the thread instantly went viral. It read, "People think loyalty means silence, but silence almost destroyed me." That message alone split the internet in half. Supporters of Remy argued that she had carried emotional weight for years while protecting Papoose's reputation. They believed the settlement was long overdue compensation for sacrifices she made while trying to maintain the perfect marriage image. But others saw the situation differently. They argued that Papoose had stood by Remy when the entire industry distanced itself from her during her prison sentence. To them, the idea that he would now be portrayed as the villain felt deeply unfair. And then the situation took another explosive turn when a short video clip surfaced from outside the courthouse. In the video, Papoose can be seen walking quickly toward a black SUV, while reporters shout questions at him. At first he ignores them completely, but just before getting inside the vehicle, one reporter asks a question that stops him in his tracks. "Do you regret standing by Remy all those years?" For a moment he doesn't move, then he slowly turns toward the cameras with a look that people online immediately described as heartbreak, mixed with exhaustion. According to viewers who replayed the clip thousands of times, he quietly said 5 words before stepping into the car. "I never regret loving her." Those 5 words exploded across social media, like gasoline on a fire. Some fans praised the response as proof that Papoose still carried respect for the woman he once defended so fiercely. Others believed the line sounded like the final goodbye of a man who had reached his emotional breaking point. But behind the scenes, sources claimed the drama was far from finished. In fact, people close to the situation say something happened later that same night that could completely change how the public sees this entire story. According to an anonymous insider who claims to have been present at a private gathering where several industry figures were discussing the situation, a shocking revelation was dropped during the conversation. The insider says someone at the table mentioned a hidden phone recording that had never been leaked publicly. When another person asked what was on it, the room reportedly went quiet before someone finally answered with a single sentence. "It's the night everything really ended." The source claims the recording allegedly captures a heated confrontation between Remy and Papoose that took place months before the court battle even began, a confrontation that reportedly involved accusations, emotional breakdowns, and a confession that neither of them ever expected to become public. No one at the table revealed what the confession was, but according to the insider, the person who owns that recording has been sitting on it for months, waiting for the right moment. And if that recording ever leaks, it might completely rewrite the story everyone thinks they understand about the $30 million victory that shocked the world. By the time the sun came up the next morning, the story had already mutated into something far bigger than a divorce battle or a shocking $30 million court decision. What started as a legal headline had transformed into a full-blown internet war. And the deeper people dug, the more disturbing the cracks in Remy Ma and Papoose's marriage began to look. The first bombshell of the day came from a source, claiming to be connected to someone inside the couple's inner circle. A long thread appeared overnight detailing what the poster described as the moment everything broke. According to the post, months before the courtroom drama, a private confrontation between Remy and Papoose had erupted inside their own home after a late-night phone call changed everything. The alleged insider wrote that Papoose had fallen asleep while on the phone with another woman. At first it seemed harmless, but when Remy walked into the room and heard the voice on the other end of the line, the entire situation exploded. The woman, according to the source, immediately hung up the moment she realized Remy was there. That moment supposedly triggered one of the most explosive arguments the couple had ever had. Within hours of the thread going viral, another leak surfaced that made the story even more chaotic. A short voice note began circulating through fan pages and gossip blogs. The audio quality was rough, but listeners insisted they could hear a heated exchange between a man and a woman. In the clip, a female voice shouts, "You lied to me for years," while the male voice responds with something that sent chills through social media, "I protected you from the truth." No one could confirm when the recording was made, but the timing of the leak was impossible to ignore. Suddenly, fans began connecting the dots between the leaked messages, the studio argument, and the mysterious reference to a hidden recording mentioned the night before. Every new piece of information felt like another puzzle piece falling into place. Then the internet erupted again. A popular celebrity blog dropped what they claimed was a screenshot of a message sent from someone close to Papoose. Just hours after the court ruling, the message read, "Everyone thinks the money means she won. But wait until they find out what he gave up to keep the real story quiet." That line sparked thousands of theories. What exactly had Papoose kept quiet all these years? And why would he stay silent, even after losing such a massive settlement? While speculation exploded online, something else was happening behind the scenes that made the situation even more emotional. According to a close friend who allegedly spoke privately with Papoose after the verdict, the rapper spent most of that night alone, reflecting on the years he and Remy spent fighting to keep their relationship alive. The friend claims Papoose wasn't angry about the money itself. In fact, he reportedly said something that surprised everyone listening. 30 million can't replace memories. But what truly shattered him, according to the source, was the realization that the love story the world believed in had quietly collapsed long before the public ever noticed. Meanwhile, Remy Ma's side of the situation was unfolding very differently. Sources close to her began telling bloggers that she viewed the settlement as more than just financial support. They described it as closure. One insider claimed Remy felt she had spent years protecting a version of the marriage that no longer reflected reality. The insider allegedly said, "People only saw the loyalty narrative. They didn't see the emotional toll it took on her." And just when the internet thought it had heard every possible twist, another explosive rumor surfaced. A podcast host claimed to have spoken with someone who attended a private dinner where several well-known industry figures were discussing the fallout from the case. During that conversation, one person allegedly revealed something that instantly made everyone at the table freeze, according to the host. The person said there was still a recording that had never been leaked to the public, not the short argument clip that already circulated. Something bigger, something much more revealing. The Host described the recording as a full conversation between Remy and Papoose during one of the darkest nights of their relationship, a night when accusations of betrayal came pouring out from both sides. The person at the dinner reportedly claimed the conversation included a confession so shocking that it could completely change how fans see both of them. But the most chilling part of the rumor wasn't the confession itself. It was the claim that the recording wasn't in the hands of either Remy or Papoose. According to the story, someone else had it. Someone who had been present that night and secretly recorded the entire argument? If that claim is true, it means a third person is holding evidence that could detonate a brand new scandal at any moment, and as if the situation wasn't already chaotic enough, the internet suddenly noticed something strange happening on social media. Several older posts from both Remy and Papoose began disappearing quietly throughout the day. Photos from events, captions celebrating anniversaries, even a few emotional tributes from earlier years. Fans immediately started asking the same question. Were they trying to erase the past? Or were they preparing for something bigger to come out? By the afternoon, hashtags about the situation were trending across multiple platforms. Some fans defended Remy fiercely, saying she finally stood up for herself after years of emotional pressure. Others insisted Papoose deserved more respect for the loyalty he showed during the hardest chapters of their lives, but the most haunting detail came from the same insider, who first mentioned the mysterious hidden recording late that evening. The source posted one final message before going silent. The message contained just one sentence. If the audio from that night ever becomes public, nobody will look at this marriage the same way again. And with that single line, the entire internet was left waiting to see if the truth behind $30 million victory is really the story people think it is, or if the biggest revelation of all is still locked inside a recording that hasn't been heard yet. Right now, the internet is completely divided. Some people are celebrating this $30 million victory like it's the ultimate comeback story. Others believe it's the heartbreaking collapse of one of hip-hop's most iconic love stories. And the truth is, we still haven't heard everything, because if those rumored recordings are real, if those leaked messages are only a small piece of what actually happened behind closed doors, then the biggest revelation in this entire saga might still be coming. Think about it. A secret argument, a mysterious recording, insiders hinting that one confession could change the entire narrative. That's the kind of twist that could flip everything people believe about Remy Ma and Papoose overnight. So now we want to hear from you. Do you think Remy Ma deserved that massive $30 million settlement after everything she went through? Or do you believe Papoose was the one who paid the ultimate price for loyalty? Drop your thoughts in the comments right now, because this conversation is only getting started, and your opinion might spark the next big debate. And make sure you hit that like button and subscribe to the channel so you don't miss what happens next. Because if that rumored recording ever leaks, if new screenshots or voice notes start surfacing, we're going to break it down immediately. Turn on notifications so you're the first to know when the next update drops. Trust me, you do not want to be the last person hearing about the next twist in this story, because this drama isn't over. Not even close. This drama isn't over. Not even close.